Happy holidays, everybody. This is Chibi, and this is day 11 of 12 Days of Anime 2013. And today I want to bring one of those anime series that haven't had a lot of publicity, and it's not well known. And it aired about, I think, around summer 2013 of anime. It's a really depressing series, but at the same time, it brings a new light to anime that's just very freaking unique. The anime is called The Sunday Without God, and this series definitely deserves to be on this list, and I cannot wait to discuss about it. Sunday Without God is a very emotional series that you can tell right off the bat has some great animation with the way they just do the atmosphere of the entire series. Now, this episode I'm going to be discussing is episode 3 of The Sunday Without God. So if you haven't seen up to this point, I recommend you not continue watching this video, because I do not want to spoil this amazing series for you. Now, before I get into the actual episode review or this actual day of anime, I want to let you know that the ending in a whole was not that good. But you really have to enjoy the ride of this series, because this series has something so different you don't see in anime, especially with the way they take a look at the way God has left the entire world. That's just something unique. To be honest, I haven't actually seen something like that in another anime. And the way they actually portray and pull it off in this series, it adds a different type of feel and emotion that you don't usually get in an anime. Especially when you find out that characters cannot really die. They keep coming back as like zombie monsters. And then you can see like some later on in the series, you see some like that have their arm missing and all that. When they got it re-sewed on, they look like a freaking zombie. But the reason why I chose this episode out of all the episodes is because our main character, as you guys see, she's a really little girl or a cute little lolly, and she's at the age of 10. She's a gravekeeper that can actually just put the dead to rest. So, for instance, when you see these people that cannot die and they keep coming back and they're like zombies, she can actually put them to rest and actually give them the peaceful death and farewell like they're supposed to have. Now, as we find out, she's traveling with this character, Hampany Hambert, or if you want to call him, Kizuna. Kizuna is a better name, I would have to say, but Hampany is also a good name. Either way you want to call him, his character was just started to be very stunning. He seemed like a very dark and mysterious character that had just a lot of darkness behind him. As you slowly see the first 3 episodes, you actually slowly grow connected with his character, and you want to know more about him, because he's like right in the middle of the opening song, and he looks freaking awesome, and I will say he's a really enjoyable character to watch, and the way he acts with it's something I really love the interactions with the characters. The characters in this series, in the first 3 episodes and later on in the series, they have some really good interactions that really make you grow connected with the characters. The voice actors do them all justice, the animation, and the freaking music. Oh, that music is great. It has a European type style music that kind of reminds me of Spice and Wolf, to be honest with all of you. Now, the ending part of episode 3, what was really just upsetting and drama, why I chose this, was because Hampany, that supposedly, is an immortal man, can keep coming back from the dead. Doesn't matter if he dies or not, he doesn't care because he'll always come back as a human instead of like a zombie, basically. He dies, actually, for real in this episode. Now, what makes it so sad was because the only way he could die was actually wanting to die a happy death, where people have regrets with him dying. He has regrets. He has his family members or some friends around him while he dies, and that's exactly what happens at the end of this episode when you see around him and finally reveals that she's his daughter, and he's the father. And we've seen this for the past 3 episodes. We had no clue. It's really upsetting to get to see something like that. And as he passes away, he comes back actually as a zombie, and so has to bury her own father before he slips into madness and just eventually forgets who he really is. And right there, the way they do the ending title drop song, that was just a freaking emotional song. I actually started getting tears in my eyes when I saw that. It got really freaking emotional. That entire end, when you see her just walking with her father, and then she realizes that she has to bury her father and put him down in the grave. It's just, wow, that ending really got me a lot. I mean, this series' real actual climax point where it really got freaking good was definitely this episode. And this episode is when it finally hooked me to the series because of what happened. The way they did the music, the way the panning of the camera, with the 3D animation effect going around as she's just crying and having to bury her father. That's just something that's really freaking emotional. I love this series for that. They did a good job. This series is not all around just an emotional trip and makes you cry. But the way they managed to do that in certain depths in this series, they know how to do it in a way to play it off. And that is just something I enjoy in this series. The Sunday Without God is definitely misunderstood and needs to be watched more by other anime otaku culture people that just love these type of series. It definitely needs to be more out there. I don't know if there's ever going to be a season 2 because the ending was left quite wide open. I mean, it really never had a conclusive ending and it just dropped out of nowhere. But this series was still a fun watch, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And tell me, did you enjoy this day of anime? What do you think is going to be on tomorrow? Everybody have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Happy holidays, everybody. Chibi out.